You're listening to Shoe In, covering the ins and outs of all things footwear, from sneakers to heels, loafers to slippers, and every type of shoe in between. Brought to you by the FDRA, the Footwear Industries Association focused on retail, trade, politics, and fashion, helping create and enhance conversations on all things footwear. And now your footwear insiders, Matt Priest and Andy Holt.
We are currently perched above FN Platform's floor.
Yeah, it's like the footwear kingdom.
I can actually see down into all the different pockets and all the different booths.
Yep.
If I had Rotten Tomatoes, I'd throw them down there.
Rotten Tomatoes. the movie website aggregator.
Exactly. No, I'm just kidding. But as we look down, there's a lot of new brands showing. A lot of people coming in and out.
Yep.
And one thing that we always like to do at these shows is send Jasmine out and interview a few people at booths that she walks around and finds some interesting samples.
They're way more likely to talk to her than us.
Absolutely.
And we had to add a new correspondent, Kim, who will also
That's right.
went out and did interviews. So Jasmine and Kim can just take over from us.
They can take it over
We're
from
done.
us and we can just leave.
We're
No
out.
one wants to hear us anyway.
No.
Plus, Jasmine, you can introduce Kim and how she's tied into Shoe and Show. Do you like that tie-in?
Nice.
Laces up.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, ladies. Take it from here.
We're out.
We're gone.
Peace.
Literally leaving.
Well, now that the guys are out of here, this is Jasmine live at FN Platform. It's been a fun time. I have Kim with me, but I want Kim to introduce herself and how she's tied in to the Shoe and Show.
Hey folks, I'm Kim. So one thing, I'm a super fan of Shoe and Show.
Yes, and you have some nice shoes on
Listen
yourself.
all the time. Thank you very much, Jasmine. But yeah, am I also a shoe nut? I love shoes, and I was super excited to be invited to be a guest correspondent on the show at FN Platform. Full disclosure, I am the producer's wife, so
Ding, ding, ding.
I was granted premium access. It's a dream come true, and it's been super fun, just kind of cruising the floor and seeing what's new, seeing what's hot.
Yeah.
Working with Jasmine, and yeah.
So on our travels through the showroom floor, we ran into KEEN, and they had this robot just moving and shaking up there, and we had to see what it was like. So we're going to take you to our conversation with KEEN. And we're with the Shoe and Show at FN Platform again, and we wanted to talk to Scott from KEEN. He has this amazing visual going on here, so I want him to tell the people, what is this machine?
You are looking at the world's smallest shoe factory. We call it the UNEEKBOT. So it can actually build a full pair of our Uniques in just under 8 minutes.
I was telling him earlier that I watched a video of this machine in the works, and I did not know that it was this fast. So what was the idea about it in the beginning?
Yeah, so when we created it, the goal was to put it in our store. You can walk in, get a custom pair of shoes, go get a cup of coffee, and by the time you're back, it's ready for you, and you can walk out the door.
Wow. And when was this started? When did this all happen?
The idea came about 3.5 years ago, and then we partnered with a robotics studio, and it took 2 years to build, and it was actually built by a 17-year-old.
What?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he took him 1.5 years, 2 years, and he built the machine himself and did all of the coding.
Wow. And how did you guys get in touch?
So we reached out to over 100 robotics studios. They all said, no way, we cannot build a machine like this. It's impossible. And then this studio in Nampa, Idaho, House of Design Robotics, said, hey, we have this 17-year-old. We think he can do it. And we said, let's give it a shot. 2 years later, and now we're 4 years into the project, and you're looking at it, and this is the first year we've had it be consumer-facing.
Wow.
That's fantastic. So you have one of these in your,
So we have
how many
2 in the
stores?
world. You're looking at one of them, and the second one is in Tokyo.
Okay, and then you have a small army of robots inside your actual factory?
Maybe one day. Right now, we're content on having 2 and R&Ding with them and figuring out the capabilities of it. You're just seeing the start of what this machine can do. Yeah.
Now, is the
Amazing.
17-year-old who created this great invention, did he go to school or what?
Nope. No, he never went to college.
Wow.
I believe he's 21 years old now.
Wow.
And this was his first big project.
And he's not going to work again after that.
Right. I mean, forget school at this
What?
point. It's all on the job learning.
Yeah, I think he's pretty safe on the job front.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
well, thanks
amazing.
so much for showing us.
No, yeah. Happy you guys are here.
Doesn't stop here, does it? I'm sure that there's something else that's going to be built by these little future Terminators, let's just say.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna start playing with different materials that we can use, and can we make it even faster? But the next project we're doing is we're taking it to the East Coast. We're gonna visit a bunch of schools, do school colors, and start getting kids excited about robotics and engineering, and saying, hey, it's not all tech startups. You can also get involved in manufacturing, apparel, shoes. There's engineers are needed everywhere.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much. Well, can you tell everyone where they can find a pair of Uniques or any other KEEN shoes?
KeenFootwear.com, REIs, Cabela's, Amazon, we're everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you.
So that was a really cool interview that we did with KEEN. I can't believe they actually got the robot to come on the showroom floor. How did you like it, Kim?
I loved it. I mean, the robot was doing his thing, wasn't really talking
Right.
to us much. And I also learned from Scott that everything there is solar powered on their booth except for the robot.
Oh, wow.
Because it requires so much energy that it's the only thing that they couldn't power by their solar panels that they brought with them.
Wow. I mean, I missed that. I'm still learning. Okay, great.
So, I mean, you keep walking this floor at FN Platform, you
Right.
keep learning new things.
Yeah.
You turn a corner and there's something new.
Yep.
Like when we turned that other corner and something neat caught our eye.
Yep, and that was Switfish. I think I'm saying Switfish. Yes, very, very unique brand, very new brand, but it definitely caught me and Kim's eye, and we had to sit down and talk with them. So we're gonna go to our segment where we talk to the ladies at Switfish. We are going to talk about these awesome shoes. We were walking the showroom floor and we noticed all this Star Wars action going on. So can you tell us a little bit about the brand? How did you guys get started? What year did you start? Where are you producing these shoes at?
Okay, we have started only in May, and we launched it. Actually, we were here in February fair as well.
Wow.
And the event so well. We had buyers from Canada and US and Singapore and Hong Kong and Japan. It went so well. So this year, from the previous year, the whole concept was supermarket. So like that section is sweets and cereals, and this section is toy and games. So like when we were young, we went to the supermarket. We always want to have sweets and big mom to buy one, and then we kind of miss that feeling, you know. And then when you go to selective shops, they all look the same. So from there, we wanted something fun and have that feeling. That's why we used that cereal boxes and parodies, and also like chocolate that packages. And yeah, actually it's very eye-catching. It's new for the market, so I think that went well.
So when you say that, so you're a very new brand. So this was like your initial idea. Did you start, with something a little bit more normal, or you went straight into this idea of let's make this, something very eye-catching, something very different from everybody else? Did you start somewhere else?
Actually, we were in the shoes business like 15 years now, and then we are actually very popular in Korea, but we got actually kind of bored with the old shoes market. Everyone looked the same. That's why we had these fun ideas and all the brainstormings, and it came up just with when we were eating the chocolates because we were so tired. And wow, that was just the answer for us.
it must have been, were there probably some challenges to having that idea and that spark and then bringing it into making it a reality and like
No,
things like
that's true.
licensing. How did this come about that you were able to license the actual Star Wars brand?
Actually, the Star Wars brand. Actually, we are busy with the contract with Disney Korea, and they love the idea of the supermarket there with the cereals and sweets, and that they wanted something different because a lot of shoes brands have collaboration with Disney or Star Wars, and they just print out at the upper part. Look exactly the same with other collaboration. So they saw our point. There's something unique
Right.
that we can be look different. That's why we started with the Star Wars. They asked us first, and then it became awesome.
And so, as far as your target audience, right? So, you can be an adult and think like, wow, this is cool, or a kid. Either way, it'll make you excited. But do you feel like you're gearing towards more women's wear, more men's wear, more kids? What's doing well?
Actually, now we have men's and women's. Actually, and getting so much suggestions from kids market, but still we are focusing on men's and women's first.
Okay. And do you feel like, I know I spoke with some other brands and they were saying how women's is doing a little better than men's. Do you see that same kind of trend?
Actually, in fashion industry, women's are always biggest targets. So the richest.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. Now, I would think that with something this eye-catching, do you have retail stores as well, or is this something people can only find online?
We have retail stores in Canada and also in Vegas here as well.
Fantastic.
And Macau, Hong Kong, and Japan and Korea.
Okay.
So it's around 50 stores.
Wow. That is amazing growth in such a short time. So do you have a standalone store, or are you inside malls?
Inside malls and also sending sources like selective stores.
But do you find that you have much of an online presence, or what would you say is your how are the online sales, for example, compared to brick and mortar?
Actually, like the stores are selling better. Actually, as you can see, we are all visualized till the display.
You're really a candy shop in a way. The kid in the candy shop sees these shoes.
Yeah, sure. Also, we are very famous on Instagram. People love us. Yeah, the contents of the character or the ideas, and we are very excited about it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Great. So if they're going online, let's say they're not any place there they can find any of your 50 stores, even though they should be close by,
Okay.
where else can they find these amazing shoes?
We have www.switfish.com.
That works.
Yeah, so we do global delivery. So
Okay. And before we wrap up, where are you making these at? Like, where is your base? Where is your manufacturing at?
actually, the manufacturing company is all different because of the categories. Like one factory can make only the sliders, and the other factory only make the sneakers. So all different areas.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. So the Star Wars shoes, I was not expecting to see that or expecting them to have as much success as they had. Do you think you would ever buy a pair, or?
Oh,
Did
absolutely. Are you kidding me?
They're so fun.
The Chewbacca flip-flops, the slides, you kind of have a suede.
And they're chunky. Yeah.
Yoda sneakers.
Yeah.
Feeling
Who
kind of...
doesn't want a pair of Yoda sneakers, right?
Absolutely. No, that was fantastic. And then the other line looking like candy or
Yep.
cereal.
Yeah.
Super eye-catching and just fun.
And it's interesting because they don't have a kids line, but I'm sure that'll be happening next. But you would think how fun and novel it is. They will probably have a kids line, but it's only men and women. So I think that was cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
Never know what you'll find on FM platform.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening, guys, to this episode. And Shoe In Show is out.
Shoe In has been brought to you by the FDRA, the Footwear Industries Association focused on retail, trade, politics, and fashion, helping create and enhance conversations on all things footwear. For information about FDRA, visit fdra.org.